Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm super excited to have you here. We're going to dive right into your reading today. Take a look at what's going on. I'm excited. We're using a new deck of cards and here we go. Spirit, what can you tell us for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know right now? Pisces, what does Pisces need to know right now? For Pisces, please, Spirit. For Pisces. All right, Pisces, I'm definitely getting a story here. Okay, here's what I'm getting, all right? I feel like there was some kind of connection here where it's like you hit it right off, or how do I want to say this? You know how when you spend time with someone and the time just goes by very quickly? Like, you just never run out of things to say. There's just this really natural connection. And no one, it's... You're just like, oh my gosh, you know, the time has gone by very quickly. I'm sorry, I'm also getting this message of knowing that there is some kind of deadline here. This is the story of Cinderella, obviously, and you know, she knew that everything was gonna turn into a pumpkin at midnight, you know what I mean? So she knew she was up against a deadline. I feel like for some of you, one of the aspects of this connection was like kind of knowing that things were going to change or that something needed to change at some point. So in other words, like maybe you were working with this person on a project and the project ended at a certain time. Maybe you worked with this person at an internship or something and it was just over the summer. Maybe you... I just feel this energy of enjoying it while it lasts. And also I do feel an energy of being really fully present as it's happening, because there's almost this knowledge that it may not last forever. And then I'm getting that you know, it feels, with this nettle card, it feels like there is this energy of it being time to go. I don't know if you guys can see, but these like crane or geese like birds are in the sky flying away. I don't know if it's that someone left or someone took their energy away, but there is this... It says resolutely face your difficulties on this card. And how I'm getting this is like, man, I didn't want to be here. I've been here before. I was hoping it wasn't going to come to this. You know, there's a disappointment. There is a... See how she's got her hand over her heart? There is some kind of heartbreak. There is some kind of... Well, there's a difficulty. It's interesting because nettle is like a plant that has these little hairs on it that sting. And it also has a lot of healthful properties. Like I drink nettle tea. Um, but yeah, it's almost like, mm, what it's giving me honestly is it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. That phrase is coming to me here strongly. So there was something really powerful and really beautiful, and something that I feel like it almost served as a confirmation of, I don't know, your ability to have love, or your ability to be in a connection, or your ability to find someone that you can connect to on that level, or that, I don't know, something is possible or something was possible. I don't know. But it feels like there is something here where even though it's left you hurt, or even though it may have stung and may not have, gone the way that you hoped, there is this energy of having still gotten something very worthwhile from it. I feel like there was some kind of conversation with this dagger energy that where it's like, I don't know, the Queen of Swords sometimes is like an ultimatum, but there is some kind of energy here with this dagger energy that is like tied to that, or giving it to me like this is what I need. It may not have been a full-on ultimatum, but it may have been, it's like a strongly worded, it's something that, how do I want to say it? It's like something is said that leads this to a place where it can't be. Okay. This is giving me such a specific story. Okay. It's giving me this energy of, I'm saying what I need, I'm saying what I want, and someone is reacting to it. Someone is, it's like a conversation where I'm coming to you and I'm saying, like, in order for this to work, this is what I need. And the response that I'm getting is like, well, then it's over. You know what I mean? It's like one person is coming in trying to sort of work it out and sort of let their needs and their desires or whatever be known. And then the other person, it feels super reactionary. It doesn't feel well thought out. It feels like a reaction rather than a response. A lot of times sword energy is like that. It can cut very deep, and it can be very sort of unplanned. Air energy is obviously, it's very fast, and it sort of just grabs the first thing it sees and sort of like there it is. And I think that this conversation, it somehow created some type of impasse where there is silence, or where there is, if there is any kind of conversation, it's rare. It doesn't happen all that often. It's mostly silence. On this card, the silence card, it says, a time to keep silent and a time to speak. And then you have this flame, regeneration out of this silence. It's like, and when I think of a flame, I don't know why I'm getting the Olympic flame. Specifically, I'm seeing the one in Atlanta, Georgia. Maybe that's the only one I've ever seen in real life. I don't know. Um, but it's like when the flame doesn't go out, when it keeps burning, when you keep wanting it, when even though you have come to this impasse and you have had this period of silence or of very little contact, you still are drawn to this person or the situation, or you haven't been able to let it go. It sort of speaks volumes. This flame, I mean, it is regeneration. It is almost this acknowledgement that it's still there. And with all this air energy, with this fire energy, air fuels a fire. So it feels like something has even intensified. And you have here on the bottom of the deck, Red Hood, which is Little Red Riding Hood, and it's a test of courage. And this is really giving me this energy of, can you turn your back on something that you still want because it isn't able to meet your needs? Believe it or not, that actually does take a lot of courage, because when you still want it, you still have feelings about it, you still care about it, you're still hopeful about it, and yet you turn your back on it and take access away, close down the opportunity really by pulling your own energy away and becoming off limits to it. It's kind of a test of your own courage, but it's also a test of the other person's courage of, okay, do they have, in the end, do they have the courage to overtake their own ego, their own pride, or whatever caused this thing to sever in the first place, to come after what they want? All right, let's see. That's like a real interesting group of cards I was drawn to today. A lot of it was inspired by the deck, but here we go. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, you have something is still missing for me, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. This feels a bit like, someone who, they're not fulfilled on their own and they're not sure why. It may be one of those things where, like, if you just look at this person's life, you are like, wow, it's pretty good, or wow, you have a lot, or, it's almost like I feel like this person has maintained sort of like a superficial, like, if you just look at the aspects or the, the key components of this person's life, you're like, wow, yeah, they have it all together. But there's something missing. And I think, our outside reflects our inside. So when things are in our control, and when we can sort of say, okay, well, I want this career, and you go after the career, and it's really like, how hard do you work? Do you go to school? Do you graduate? Do you know what I mean? All of those things. It's like, yeah, okay, they're able to do that. But when you put a lot of focus on certain aspects of your life, and they're not yourself and your spiritual self and your emotional self, you can get a little out of balance. You can end up with a beautiful life, like it looks really beautiful, but it's lacking something because you're missing the spirituality, or you're missing the emotionality of that life. And it's kind of like, I feel like with this person, that I feel this energy of like, I kind of have it all. Like, I should be happy. I should, like, this, I was doing all of this under the idea that it would be fulfilling. It would make me happy, that when I got here, I would I would be somewhere, you know what I mean? And then it's kind of like, but it's not like that. It's lacking. And you know, we can only meet people as deeply as we've met ourselves. And so if we are really focusing on the superficial or the material world, and we're not working on ourselves deeply, then even if an opportunity comes along to have a deep connection, we can't really dive into it. We can't really take the opportunity to have it because we haven't created a world in which that can exist within ourselves. I'm just seeing a lot of cards here. Like, I'm finally feeling the consequences of my action. I just wasn't ready for you. I want to be authentic. I'm no longer afraid. All of these cards are just telling me that, you know, this person, I feel like they are someone who came across as being really in control, or, you know, being really capable, and, you know, kind of having it all, or kind of doing a really good job, having a rich, full life, like having created it. But they didn't do a lot of introspection. And I feel like, you know, when they met you, it's almost as if, you know, I'm going back to this like midnight clock energy. They may have just thought, well, this is fun for now, or, you know, I don't know, like they may have been attracted to you for like the superficial part of you, or the material part of you, or even like how you would look in their perfectly curated life. But they didn't expect what they got. They didn't expect someone that was going to offer them something so much deeper and so much richer. And I don't think they knew how to handle it. And I think that when you asked for it, when you said, oh, you know, this is really lovely, I'm enjoying myself here, I'm having a nice time, or whatever it is, but like, I need commitment, or I need, you know, this person is over here like, I'm still in love with the fairy tale, I'm still in love with the fantasy of it, but it has to materialize into something more. I feel like for you to be happy. So it's like you tried guiding it in that way, or that's what you were bringing to the table, that's what you were offering, that's what you were looking for. And it feels like this person was kind of taken aback. I honestly feel like they didn't know how to handle it. And a part of me also feels that, you know, when you're so superficial, or when you're so caught up in the material world, or worrying about, you know, even what other people are thinking about you, you can sort of project that onto other people to where you don't even see the depth. You don't even see what someone is really offering you. And you don't know how to respond, or you don't know how to handle it. You know, it's almost like a threat to you rather than a gift to you. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up here. You have, your beauty still moves me. You've been in my dreams. I'm not the same person that you remember. You inspire me. And you know, a lot of times I feel like when there is this kind of like mismatch in the beginning, it is part of the connection's purpose is to awaken the other person. And it feels like you did that, but it may have been more in this moment when you were asking for more. And I feel like this person was like, what do you mean you want more? Like, I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you this. Like, we're having an amazing time. Time flies by when we're, you know, I'm giving you my full attention. I don't have more to give you. Like, I'm here. Like, what more is there? And you're like, there are these lotuses on her head, and it's just like, there's a whole lot more. You know, there's like, you're just on two totally different wavelengths. And it feels like in retrospect, as this person looks back on the conversation and looks back on maybe some of the assumptions that they were making about you to begin with, they're really seeing the truth of what you were offering them, and they're realizing that that is what is still missing for them, and that you were offering it to them, and you're the only person that's probably ever offered it to them. And I feel almost like they were a little harsh in letting that go. This connection may have really brought about a dark night of the soul for this person, where they really had an opportunity to look at their shadow side. I feel that some of the feelings, you know, that sickening feeling that you have when you had something and you lost it, like, it's kind of giving me a stock market vibe of like investing in something, and you know, it's going up, and you're just like, you feel as though you have that money, you feel as though, you know, tangibly you're worth that, and then it's like boom, and it just crashes and you lose all that, and you're just sickened. You're like, 1 minute I was a millionaire and now I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like, but it wasn't ever really yours. Like, you didn't ever really possess it. It was just a number on a piece of paper, you know, that like, if you would have taken an action, it would have been yours. Like, I don't know. It's showing me this very specifically, and I don't know that much about the stock market, but it's like giving me this vibe of like, it was always a mirage. It really, like, you're sick about it because you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I had that. Like, if I would have just taken that action, I would be in a totally different situation right now. You know what I mean? And you keep looking at how you had it and how it's gone. But it's like Spirit is really showing me and highlighting here, emphasizing you never really had it. There's this great John Lennon quote where it's like, he's talking about love, and he's talking about how, you know, love isn't something that you just get and then you always have. It is something that you have to nurture. You have to take care of it. You have to constantly pay into it. You have to pay attention to it. You know, it's something that you have to perpetually give to. And seriously, maybe someone's person is in finance, because I don't know, this is like seriously giving me so many financial examples, and I'm not a finance person. It's sort of hurting my head, actually. But they could just be like very cerebral also, or very logical and practical and analytical. But, you know, it's sort of like, I don't think they knew or understood how easily something could change. Which can also indicate to me that maybe in the past, when connections have ended, you know, people have chased them, or, you know, they've always sort of felt like they had access to where they could just reignite it if they wanted to, kind of energy. Like, it really wasn't that big a deal. But with this change and this courage and this Red Riding Hood, and it also says a test of courage, it is really giving me, Pisces, that like, you really turned on your heels and went in a different direction and cut off. You stopped giving this thing so much attention, so much access to you. It's like you really went all in with your, like, I don't know, ultimatum-ish conversation. You were like, okay, well, no, I meant what I said. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't just, you know, me putting that out there. That was like, this is what I need. This is what I am expecting from a connection. This is what, this is what I'm worth and I deserve, and I'm not accepting less than that. And this person was like, well, you can accept what I'm giving you or whatever, because I don't have anything else to give you. And, you know, and I do feel like there could have been some sharp words, and I do feel like you ended up turning on your heels and walking away like, okay, well, it's not enough, and I've given you the opportunity, like, I've expressed myself, I've told you this is what I need from you, and you've said you're not willing to give it to me, so you're leaving me no choice. And I just think that it was shocking to this person. I really feel like they were not expecting that. And I feel like it caused them to sort of look within and be like, wow, you know, well, because I don't think they really wanted to be without you. And I don't think that they really thought that that was an option, or that that's really what was going to happen totally. This is definitely giving me hangman vibes, and I keep getting hangman vibes here, where it's like when they were living it forward, they were just so wrapped up in like what they were holding in their hands and what was happening, that they were not, I don't know, they were not thinking about this on a deep level. That's all I keep getting. And it's like, in retrospect, when they're realizing what you were really offering them, and they're getting the clarity of what it really was, they are understanding that they really messed something up that was so rare, and that was also something that they were actually really wanting and really looking for, and they don't know if they'll ever find it again, and that may be the closest they've ever come, and that you really, you packed it up and walked away. I mean, that's how this is really giving me this vibe. And it's caused them to kind of introspect. It's caused them to sort of look at themselves and like why they made the decisions and the choices that they made. I think it's really bringing about a transformation with this person, and it is giving them the opportunity to sort of close out a cycle. They haven't stopped wanting you, that's for sure. And I feel like now there's some kind of competition, or they feel like there may be competition around you. And I think it's causing them to say, okay, you know, I've got to step into my power. I've got to figure out how to take this connection from where it is to where I want it to be. And it's not going to just be straightforward. It's not going to just be, let me go have a conversation with Pisces. It's also like, I may have to fend off competitors. You got the Queen of Fire over here. And I feel like you're the picture of detachment. I feel like you are... you know, you have such a feeling of peace and serenity when you know that you did everything you could. And I feel like, Pisces, you did. I feel like you communicated what you needed and what your standard was and what your expectation was. And I think that you were offering, what you were offering definitely, you know, deserved that level of reciprocity, and you're fine with that. Like, you know that. And so it's kind of like you're over here like, I'm okay with it. And you may even know that there is competition for your attention, for your affection. And you may be enjoying that. Hang on one second, Pisces. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. They're doing some stuff in the neighborhood. Wow, I took a drink of my tea and it went down my air pipe. And I had to run and move something. But there's definitely this energy of you over here hanging out, kind of being detached, being in a place of peace with yourself, knowing that you did everything you can, living a life that you created that you're okay with, that you feel good about, and you're kind of like, let the chips fall where they may. You know, if this person's going to step into their power, fine, so be it. Great, amazing. Then they can come back to me. And they can tell me that. They can express that to me. If one of these competitors or whatever wants to stop focusing on the competition and start focusing on me, then great, so be it. I'm here, I'm all ears, I'm listening, I'm hearing. You're not going anywhere, you're not chasing anything, you're not trying to make anything happen, you're not being accommodating, you're not overgiving, you're kind of detached. And with the Queen of Fire, it's like you're attractive, you're worth it, you're manifesting the life that you want, you're not trying to force anything, you're just letting it happen. Wow. Ugh. Man, heavy emphasis on competition here. I don't know if it's real or perceived by this person, but you got the Seven of Wands here twice. So the Magician is being clarified by the Knight of Wands and the Two of Wands in reverse. And the Seven of Wands is being clarified by the Nine of Wands. So this is really telling me that I feel like this person, with the Knight of Wands, there was something where this person thought, I'll do this for X amount of time, or, this is really nice, but all good things come to an end. It's, there's something where I feel like this person expected to be moving on from this. I think that they were following an attraction or a desire. And I think that, it led to kind of this crossroads, which I feel like was unexpected. And this person, I don't feel like they handled it well. I also feel like kind of hitting that crossroads is like the moment where this person stopped sort of following their desire. It's like, I think that they still wanted to be with you, Pisces, but they weren't brave enough to kind of recalibrate and make the more difficult decision to like try to figure out how to make it work, to kind of figure out how to take what you had already built and turn it into something more, what you were asking for here, Pisces. It's like, it may also be for some of you where it was like your idea to like bring this to a crossroads or to have kind of a choice point, and this person may have just not even responded well. Like, there's somebody who likes to be in control, so they prefer to be the one that's saying, okay, now we're at this crossroads, you know what I mean? So it's like when it's someone else's idea, sometimes they just react negatively, possibly. This person also, with the Nine of Wands, could have had some really bad experiences in the past, but also it sort of feels like they were sort of projecting their past experiences onto this connection, like almost like you're just like all the rest, and they weren't even evaluating you as a separate individual from their past experiences. I don't know. There's something here where it's like this person was just so wrapped up in the material world and in superficial stuff that they weren't really able to see how much you were really offering, or how much you were really capable of, or that you were capable of something completely different. It's like they were just operating on an assumption, this is what it's always been, this is what it always will be. And I think they've gotten hurt in the past. With the Nine of Wands, this is like the wounded warrior. So I feel like, you know, when you're projecting that you're just like all the rest onto somebody and all the rest have always hurt you, then, you know, you aren't really leaving an option open where it could be different. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but I also feel like with the Nine of Wands, this person is persevering. They still desire you. They haven't been able to let this go. And I think that's also surprising them. That's also kind of making them want to step up and fight for this. I got that feeling in the very beginning of this reading too, where I feel like it's just surprising them, their own response to this ending. And I think, like, I feel like even in retrospect, it just keeps getting more and more and more and more and more revealed to this person what you were actually really offering them. Even as they just remember things that happened, even as they just, you know, I keep getting the Hangman energy here, like looking back and being like, oh my gosh. Kind of seeing you, Pisces, for who you are and what you have to offer. And it's like, oh man, you know, that's what's always been missing. They didn't see it because they weren't looking for it. You know, we see what we're looking for. They misjudged the situation, I just heard. All right. Yeah. So you have what's called the Guardian in this deck. And it's the Hierophant, you know, energy. Okay. And then you have the 10 of Wands, the World card, and the 6 of Water. Man, oh man. I mean, look at all these wands, and you have this progression of the wands through this story already. And we don't even have that many cards out. But, yeah, wow. And you have the 5 of Earth on the bottom of the deck. So, you know, this is a loss for this person. They are feeling it. They are, you know, wow. Yeah, they're feeling it in different ways. You know, I don't know, like every once in a while you'll do an activity that's very different than the activities that you normally do, and you'll get a pain in a muscle group that you really didn't know you had, or that has really never hurt before. Do you know what I'm talking about? And it's like you're suddenly really acutely aware of a part of your body that you have never really thought about or have never really focused on. This 5 of Earth is somehow giving me this vibe. It could even be that, like, this person is feeling the loss in places that they, you know, haven't ever really felt lost before, you know, because they haven't really come across you. They haven't really come across someone offering this to them, to where, and also, I feel like a lot of times they feel very justified in their own positioning. Like, they feel like, well, I did everything I could. You know, they're in that Queen of Wands energy where it's like they're detached. They're feeling at peace. They're feeling fine about it. You know what I mean? And I think the shoe is on the other foot here, because I think they completely misjudged this. And I think they had the opportunity many times to see it for what it was, and they didn't. It's like, and maybe they even did sort of see it occasionally and then sort of talk themselves out of it. Like, oh, don't be foolish. Don't believe that. You know, this is just like all the other, you know what I mean? And then they're like looking back and they're like, why didn't I listen to my intuition? Kind of energy. It's like the exact adverse opposite or whatever of like a red flag. It's like there were all these green flags, and why did I not see that? But it is causing this person to really look at things. You know, we had this like shadow side energy here, the dark night. I feel like it is causing them to sort of look at themselves. Like, they may not have really started off this way as a person, but it's like as you go through life and you keep experiencing things one way, you can sort of fall into this energy of, well, that's just how it is, you know, and just sort of thinking, you stop thinking it can be different than that. And it can always be like every experience is its own thing. It's like, that would be like going to a foreign country and, or like going to France and being like, oh, well, I've already been to Italy and England and, wherever. And, I've always had this experience. So I'm sure France will be the same way. Well, no, France is France. France is different. You know what I mean? You have to give France a chance to show you who France is. You know what I mean? I don't know what all this is about. I feel like we're dealing with someone that has money and travels, or like, I don't know what this is. There's some background information here that it's like it distracts me. And I feel like it's almost like this person, they may be very distracted by money or by traveling or by, I don't know what it is, but it's like they're perpetually distracted by something in the material world. But anyway, yeah, you're making this person feel things in your absence that they really have never felt. They've never really felt a loss like this. I think they've always sort of been able to say, well, I gave it everything I had and it didn't work out. And also they've also been able to really see the flaws of the other person, to be able to say, well, that person really wasn't capable of it. And I don't think they can say anything like that about you, Pisces. And I think that that's part of what's triggering. And I just got this earthquake. I'm also seeing Mount Vesuvius. I don't know what. This is so bizarre. And now you have the World card here. There's a Fleetwood Mac song called The Seven Wonders, and I'm hearing that song. I don't know what in the world. There's some background thing here. I don't think it's for everyone, but it's for someone. And it can just be a metaphor for, like, this person may be really ambitious, or they may be just really focused on the material world and like all the things that maybe they want to see or do, or make happen, or the pressure even that they feel to get to a certain place in their life so that those things are even options for them. I don't know. Take it as it resonates, guys. But you have the 10 of Wands with the World card here. This is definitely talking about an ending. And it's an ending of a really burdensome cycle where, someone really feels a lot of pressure to perform, is what I'm just getting. I don't know what this is. You may be dealing, for some of you, with someone who really cares about how other people perceive them. I don't know. But there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure with the 10 of Wands. This is a really burdensome cycle. And, I think it's something where it is time for this person to close it out. It almost feels like a bad habit that this person needs to give up, of sort of assessing a situation maybe too quickly or unfairly. And because you have the 6 of Water here, and this is that energy of, like, in retrospect, when I look back on what Pisces was really offering me, and this is like an innocent sort of pure love. This is sort of an opportunity to exchange something, like experience even a really a true unity and harmony with another soul on a deeper level. And that's what I lost. And I lost it because I didn't even have space to open up to it, because I was so busy projecting and assuming and kind of labeling and naming and misreading and misjudging and judging it all, every move that Pisces made or what the situation is, or I went into it with a strong idea of what I wanted it to be without allowing it to reveal itself to me what it actually was. This is the type of person that you hold on to. This is the type of person that you go into the sunset with. And I messed it up. Like, I didn't see it. I didn't know. Yeah. So the Hierophant is being clarified by the Knight of Swords in reverse. You know, I think this is this person looking at a real quickness to judge or to sort of say what something is, to name it, to call it something, to, you know, at least in their own mind. It's kind of like not really giving something the chance to reveal itself to you, but instead just being like, this is what it is. It's a rush to judgment. It's a rush to have an opinion about something or whether something is possible or not. Like, there is someone here that is definitely really realizing that, you know, they were their own way of thinking is what caused them to behave. Their behavior was a reflection of what they were thinking, and what they were thinking really wasn't substantiated. It didn't have any real weight behind it. I don't even know how to really say this. It's just like, well, this is how it's always been, so this is what it is. It wasn't even based on what was really in front of them. They really misjudged something, and they acted really reckless, and they wish they could take it back, for sure. And over here with this, the ending of this cycle, with the Six of Cups and the Nine of Swords, this person really fears that they messed something up bad. And that, you know, this may be their only opportunity at this. They're not, you know, they're not sitting like you are in that Queen of Wands energy, sitting back going, oh yeah, everything's going to be fine. You know, I'm fine with how I acted here. I'm fine with what happened. Wow. You know, this person, I feel like they are actually even uncovering that they actually did have some pretty deep feelings here. You have the Strength card and the King of Water. I think that, you know, you made this person feel something that other people have never. And even in your absence, it continues to happen. With the Five of Water here, it's like this person can't stop thinking about what they lost, what they messed up, what they could have had, what it could be now that it isn't. They're even, you know, with the Three of Earth, it's like they're finally doing what I feel like you were asking them to do. They're finally kind of visualizing and getting a plan, and, you know, they're seeing how it could have been different. They're seeing what all the possibilities were had they chosen to actually really collaborate here and invest here. They're seeing what it could have been. And I do feel like there is this energy in this card and in that Nine of Swords there where they are up late at night, you know, kind of anxious and fearful that, wow, this was my opportunity to have all of that, you know, to have the thing that was missing. And everything else. And I could have built it with someone, and I could have experienced the fulfillment of that. Because it's like, let's be honest, I've never even felt all of those things for someone. No one's ever had this effect on me. I am feeling with this King of Water and this Strength card. No one's ever made me stop and think about this, or even, you know, because no one's ever offered them something so profound before, something so authentic, something so real. You've got the King of Air, the Sun, and the Knight of Water here. And, you know, I feel like this person is getting a lot of clarity, and I think that they are. It's like the King of Air is kind of giving me this vibe of like, I know why I thought the way I thought before, and I also see the error of thinking that way. Because with the the King of Air and the Sun, there's a lot of clarity here. And sometimes when we can see something so clearly, we can begin to heal. We can begin to understand why it was that was our approach, or why it was that we had such a strong thought of what something was, and we can begin to heal. We can begin to find peace in that. With the Knight of Water, it feels like this is someone who's like, you know, they're thinking very differently about how their approach to life, and about following more their heart than their desire. Because I think the desire thing was it was fun, and it was kind of fast paced. And it's like I can see this person really navigating, like connecting the dots, like got this, got that, got this, got that, like they were on some kind of mission and they were good at it. But it was never going to fulfill them. It was always like, well, the next thing will make me happy. Well, the next thing will bring that sense of fulfillment. And it just never panned out. And so now I think they're seeing the value in following their heart, or in letting their heart be their guide. You know, like even knowing what their heart wants. I feel like they didn't even know that before. I feel like they were more focused on the material world, like I said, but not really the emotional or the spiritual or anything any deeper than that. You have Justice here, and you know, sometimes, you know, we always think with Justice, like if someone hurt us, if they cheated on us, then, you know, we want them to experience that so that they know. But everybody has a different currency. And so for someone who cheats on people, it may not be that big a deal to be cheated on. You know, you just never know. But Spirit knows their currency. And so, you know, sometimes, you know, if someone doesn't appreciate you, and they let you go and you experience heartbreak because of it, you kind of want them to experience the same thing. But maybe the karmic justice is in, you know, this deep unveiling, you know, layer after layer after layer. Like that's how it's coming to me, like waves on the ocean, like boom, 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 you know, of the reality of the truth of how they, you know, mistreated this opportunity. But there is something that is leveling out here, and there is, with the Justice and the Knight of Water, there is this major decision in this person's life that where it's like they're almost like really recognizing that it is more important to them, or that what they actually really want is to follow their heart. Wow. I mean, you've got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Empress upright, and the Ace of Pentacles upright on the bottom of the deck. I mean, this person wants to make you a solid and stable offer. They don't want you to be single anymore. They want you to be their person. You know, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I definitely feel that they do not want to run the risk of kind of like leaving you on the market is the energy that I'm getting. It's like I don't want someone else to realize what I had. I think they do have this feeling that most people would have, you know, seen it the same way they did, or wouldn't have seen it at all the same way they did. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's like I don't know that anyone can see the value in Pisces right off the bat. Like it's like a slow burn. It's like something that it's a taste you acquire over time. I don't know what this is. Okay. But it's like they don't want enough time to pass for that to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't even know how to describe this. And they also don't want someone else to form a connection with you that's deeper than the one that they have with you, too. It's very strange. Okay, you have the 10 of Earth in reverse, okay? And then it's like, I almost feel like this person really feels like if they lose this opportunity with you, they're losing the opportunity to really have this, I'm getting like almost like an idealistic version of, I mean, they can really see themselves with you at this point. And I don't think that they have, you know, they may have felt this about other people in the past, like, okay, yeah, I could marry them, that would be fine, whatever. But there's something so very different about, you know, it's like with Pisces, I could have the thing that legacies and legends are made of, you know, not the, yeah, we're making it work, you know, whatever kind of thing. It's like, I could really truly be fulfilled. I could really truly be happy. I could really truly have my needs met. It wouldn't just be about how much money do we have in the bank account, what kind of house do we have, what kind of car are we driving. You know, it would be about a deeper, richer thing. It would be a true, lasting legacy. And I really think that this person, it's like, I don't know if, you know, if you're of childbearing years, it's kind of like, this is the person that I want to have children with. You know, this is the person that I want to parent with. It's almost like this is the thing that I don't have unless I have Pisces. Like this would be the situation that I myself wanted for myself that I did not have or get, that I could give. You know, that I could start here and I could give this to the next generation. I don't know, take it as it resonates. But you have the 6 of Earth, you have the Knight of Air, the Page of Air, and the 8 of Water. You know, this person really knows that they acted incredibly recklessly. I think that they kind of abandoned ship. It's like they heard something or they saw something in this conversation that they kind of interpreted as a threat. And I feel like with the 6 of Earth, it's like what you were really asking for, Pisces, was an equal give and take of, you know, on every level, like every sense of that, like not just okay, you show up and I show up and we spend this time together, but like you show up and I show up, and emotionally and spiritually and, you know, commitment wise, and you know what I mean? Like it, you wanted to be met deeply on every level. And I think somehow that really triggered this person. And, you know, it's, I keep getting this energy of like, you're not grateful for what I am giving you, or, you know, like I'm giving you more than I've given most, or I you know, like I'm giving you all this and you have the audacity to say that you want more without really realizing, without really hearing what was being said or what was being asked. It's like, this is a very reactionary energy. The Page of Air, the Knight of Air, it's like I hear something, I don't even process it. I don't run it through my heart space. I'm reacting and responding very hot-headedly, very quickly. And my response is to run away, you know, with the 8 of water. And you have the Chariot on the bottom of the deck, which is like saying to me, like an about face, doing an about face, coming back. You know, now it's like there's almost this energy of being able to be with the 6 of earth being the basis of this energy, and then the Chariot being the basis of this energy. They're both very balanced, but you know, over here it's like I wasn't ready to reciprocate what you were offering me, obviously, because I was in this very reactionary energy when you were even asking me for it, or when we were even discussing it. But in this time apart, it's like I've tried to become someone who can, you know, be your equal opposite, or someone who can balance you out, someone who can have success and victory with you after all. Wow. I mean, this person wants to come in out of the cold. They really do. You know, you got the 5 of Pentacles clarifying the 10 of Pentacles, both in reverse. You know, this person is really understanding and realizing what they have lost, the opportunity that was lost, the richness, the depth, the, you know, it's kind of like nothing else really compares to this also. And I think they're really realizing how their own fear and their own sort of mindset is what really, you know, ended this, or really took this to a place where they were out in the cold, and so were you as a result. With the 3 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups here, yeah, this person definitely wants to share a vision. They want to share a plan, and they want to work together. They want to see what's possible. In their heart of hearts, they do believe that there's a level of fulfillment that they can get from this relationship that they can't get anywhere else. And I don't think that they want to lose this opportunity. I do think that they are going through some kind of transformation in order to try to be someone that can really show up properly for this relationship and really, you know, match your energy stride for stride here with the Chariot and the World card. Yeah, look at that. Ace of Cups underneath the World. Yeah, they can't stop thinking about you, Pisces. You're always on their mind. This new beginning is always on their mind. You know, I like the Chariot could denote that this person is taking action and they are coming towards you. But I like what I'm mostly getting here is someone who is really working through all of this in their mind and coming to terms with what really happened here and what the truth of the situation actually really is. And it does feel like it's been sort of a slow and lengthy process. There's a lot of Pentacle energy here. And so I do feel like it's kind of been like one thing at a time, or they've only been able to face one thing at a time. And I do think, Pisces, this has been a real test of courage for you. And I think you have had the courage. And I think, you know, when I see kind of energy like this, it always gives me this energy of, you know, either this person is going to shape up and come toward you, or you're going to fall smack dab into something else with someone else. There has also been a lot of energy in this reading around competition for your heart, for your attention. And so I definitely feel that, Pisces, there is this, I feel, an opening up of energies of where this person will have the opportunity to come in, like everything will align to where this person can show up for you, or you're going to find someone new. It will be someone else. And for some of you, I actually feel like you have more than one past person that I could be talking about, that could be showing up here. So I don't know. It just feels like a resurgence of this kind of energy of like these epiphanies, this realization, this urge to take action is coming. I don't know when the next Mercury retrograde is, but that's sort of what this feels like. All right, guys, let's get some moon messages for you. you're dealing with a water sign, suddenly all songs I hear are about you. Good intentions, passion. You will always be my secret love. I am afraid to trust. Controlling. I am choosing you. If you're dealing with a fire sign, my nerves get the best of me sometimes. You are hard to forget, repressing, wait for me, indecisive. We will be together again. If you're dealing with an earth sign, I am trying to figure things out. My karmic story is ending. Guarded. I am still moved by you. I don't want to miss my chance with you. Whoops. And I want your attention. And if you're dealing with an air sign, I am sending you telepathic messages. Stuck. Old flames. You changed my whole direction. Honest. You are the only one who truly gets me. All right, guys. This is what I have for you. I really hope it helps. Until next time, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.